I want to show you a little trick I use when I receive a file from another party or another system or something like that, and it's just not in the right format for me to actually use. So here I have this payroll file I received from a payroll company, and while it looks good and it looks okay, let's just say I want to sort this by date of hire. So I come up here, I highlight the data, I go to sort, and now it's asking me it's not sorted as expected because it contains some numbers and text. And so if I sort this, I notice that, okay, January comes out first, then October, then December, then February. So really what these dates are actual text fields. So when you sort them, like the 1 in 10 sorts before the 2, and before the 7. So it doesn't view it as a number or a date. And I want to get this to become a date so I could work with it a little bit better. So I'm going to use two tools in Excel. One tool is going to be text to columns, and we're going to use a formula called date. Just the text to columns is going to break apart this text date into its individual components, your month, your day, and year. And then we're going to use the date formula to recompile it back into a date, and it'll be properly formatted. So let me show you how I do that. Because, this would really be a challenge to kind of go through and try to reconfigure this manually. Here we have maybe 20 items, but if you have 200, 300, 400 items or 1,000 items, it could really become a real burden to try to do this on your own. So let's just use the tools in Excel, and I'll show you how quick and easy this could be. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight what I want to change. In this case, it's the date. Now I come up to the data tab and I click on text to columns. So real quick, I want to delimit this by this slash. And what delimit means is it takes a character that's, every time it sees that character, it's going to break it apart into a separate column. So if I click next, it basically says, what do I want to delimit this by? Well, it doesn't have a slash, so I have to, in the other, I click other, and then I actually key in the slash. And I say next. This could be brought in as general, 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 no problem. Hit finish. So now I have the date, this is the month, this is the day, and this is the year. Now you kind of look, what's going on here, and what's going on here, and here. This is actually, this cell is formatted as a date, right? So if I come back to home, I can see that this cell is formatted as a date, where this one is formatted as general. So I would just highlight the entire range and just make them all general, just so it's easy to see. And now I have the month, the day, and the year. So I could do two things. I could either recompile the date over to the right, or I could just Control X and move these 3 columns over one by cutting and pasting one over. So now here, the date of hire, I want to actually recompile that date so that it is an actual date, in the date in the proper format. So all I do is I really hit a plus, or I hit an equal sign, so Excel knows that I'm going to be typing in a formula. And I just type in date. And all I do is hit tab, and you can see down here what it's asking me for: year, month, day. And if you're not sure how to do that, if you're not sure of the syntax, just come up here and open up the formula wizard. And it's going to tell you exactly what it needs. So year, so here's the year, in this row, because we're doing the formula in row 6, you get the year in row 6. The month is here, F, and then the day, that's in G. And then once it has those 3 components, it closes the parentheses, and I say okay, and now we're in 1/8/2011, and if you look up here, it's a date. So if I copy this down, we have dates formatted properly as dates. I'm just going to Shift N down and I'm going to copy and paste value. So I hit paste and go to value, because I don't want that formula in there anymore. I want to just keep it as a date. And after that, I could literally just delete these other 3 columns. And now what will happen is if I come here and I actually sort this, we should sort this in date order. So if I sort this by column E, or date of hire, if I come up to sort, custom sort, date of hire, values, oldest to newest. And now you see it's January 11, then July 11, which is before February 12, which is before, October 12, and that's the way it should be. So this is exactly how, if you ever get a date and it's comes over as text and you can't filter it, you can't sort it correctly, it's just a mess. You just break it apart into its individual components, and that's fine. You could do that with text, and then you recompile it back using the date formula. All right, this is just a quick tip. Hopefully, if you run into this problem, this helps you out, and I will talk to you soon. Alrighty, thanks. I hope this video really helped you out, and if it did help, please hit like and subscribe, because that really helps me out. Also, head on over to my website at expertofficetraining.com, and you can see a lot more training videos, and also sign up for my email newsletter and get a free video course delivered right into your inbox. Again, it's expertofficetraining.com, or just click the link below.